Pierce from 9.Connects. If you're interested in learning how to quickly create libraries of Altium Designer schematic and PCB components, then I recommend that you consider enrolling in the Altium Designer Library Training class from 9.Connects. From my many years of experience as an application engineer and a teacher, I've put together an Altium Designer Library Training program that is comprehensive, yet presented in a manner that makes it easy to understand. Whether you're an EE responsible for creating schematics, a layout guide placing and routing footprints, or a corporate librarian, any AD user needs to know the intended functions and best practices to use this powerful EDA tool. The Altium Designer Library Training class is a one-day, online, 8-hour class that includes 10 modules of information. It is virtually identical to day 1 of the bootcamp training class, with one extra module at the end of the class that covers database libraries in more detail. In each module, your instructor will tell you how to do it and then show you how to do it. Self-guided exercises are provided to reinforce the learning process. And of course, the instructor is right there when you have questions or need help. So let's take a closer look at what you can expect to learn from the class. Modules 1 to 4 will consist of creating schematic symbols. Students will progress through a standard component creation flow as they are introduced to the various available workspace panels and dialog boxes that are provided to help you make your schematic components. First, students will open an existing schematic library and experiment with the 4 different workspace panels that are available. Down here on the status bar on the lower right, you click on the SCH panel button, and here are the 4 different workspace panels that are available and that I've got docked over here on the left. So after you take a look at these different workspace panels and their functions, what we'll do is we examine the different preferences used to configure the components, and you'll create a new few schematic symbols too for each one of these components. If you click Edit, you'll bring up the library component properties, and I'll show you how to add any parameters and do it automatically as well. You'll learn the most effective component search techniques to see if the part has already been made and if it's actually available from any supplier. For example, I right-click on this component here and you'll see this component link, supplier links dialog box come up. Also, there's a data sheet that's available, so you'll see the most streamlined method to create your own parts from a data sheet and then link that data sheet right to the component. Many tips and tricks will be presented throughout the course to give students the information they need that can only be gained through years of experience with the tool. In summary, modules 1 through 4 will teach you how to use the available workspace panels and dialog boxes to help you create new schematic components, and we introduce a process where you place your pins, place your graphics, place the attributes, and use the supplier search panel to automatically add those attributes for you. So basically, in summary, mods 1 through 4, I teach you how to use the Altium Designer schematic library panels, then the appropriate dialog boxes, and then I walk you through how to create a few new parts. So after we create our schematic library components, later on in mods 5 through 8, a similar process will be followed to acquaint Altium Designer users with how to create footprints. So that is, in mods 5 through 8, what I'll be doing is we open up an existing PCB library that's in an existing example project. Then we take a look at the different workspace panels available. You can click on the status bar down here on these panel buttons. Now that you have a PCB library open, there's a PCB button, and you see that there are 6 different workspace panels available to you in the PCB library editor. So we explore those, and then once again we take a look at the different dialog boxes that are available, right? So if I right click on any component and I say, for example, I can create here a new blank component, launch a component wizard, select component properties, right? This is where it would give the component a name, any height that would go in the bill of material, and a description. And these footprints, you'll make a few new footprints that match up with the schematic components that you made in mods 1 through 4. So for example, you'll make a few of these components in here, one of these guys in here, and be able to take a look at it in 3D and add a Altium Designer 3D body to it and move it around, you know, and you get to learn how to manipulate the 3D environment here as well, okay? So that's what we do in mods 5 through 8. That's what we do is we make a few footprints and experiment with the different workspace panels and dialog boxes again. So after students have mastered the basics of schematic and PCB libraries, in mods 9 and 10, our library training class concludes with students creating integrated libraries and their own corporate database libraries. It's easy. The schematic and PCB library are placed in a separate folder in a library project created, and when that library project is compiled, an integrated library file extension is created, and you'll see all the supplier links are included, so it's a fully qualified component. That's an integrated library, and then we also have a database library as well. So we show you how to create a few different database libraries. We give you a few different source access database tables, and you'll see that then you just create a database library by simply connecting to that access table in this field that's up here. You browse to the database file and connect to it. And we show you how to set up the root database file so that there's no problem with transitioning from an integrated to a PCB library as well. So whether you've just bought Altium Designer recently or have been using Altium Designer successfully for years, we're confident that you'll find great value in attending 9.Connect's library training. And if you need help clearing any bottlenecks in your design flow at all, our staff of experts can help you with any specific aspect of the tool you need help with. So if you need to know all about Altium Designer parts, 9.Connect's library training is the best first step you can take. Register today at 9.connects.com.